On that note, let me start recording.
I mean, bro, I'm pretty sure if you even like mention COVID or something, you instantly get demonetized. Like
Well,
shit like that.
that's like I said, it's a good thing I just started recording then.
Oh yeah.
10 seconds in, we're
Oh,
already just fucked.
oh hell yeah. Okay.
I should probably play the video, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So this is episode 2 of the worst podcast to ever do it. Um, Wow, we're starting off with ums. I mean, I guess we'll just do like a little recap of how we thought the first episode went. Like, how did you feel about it
Well,
afterwards?
honestly, we could start with like the last 15 minutes of me like fucking with this nice new mic that I got and then just giving up on it to start recording like what we're like half an hour later than we started last time now.
Yeah, maybe 45 minutes.
Maybe
Yeah. Well,
45
I don't
minutes.
know because last time we fucked up for a full 30
Oh,
minutes.
well, that's true actually. Honestly, yeah,
So
so we've
honestly,
still
we're
got a little
on
buffer
par.
room. It's improvement.
Yeah.
It's improvement.
Yeah,
Um,
and it was better because last time we thought we were recording, and then half my audio was just not going. So this is kind of this is at least better. We at least didn't accidentally record this time.
yeah,
So
so today's balancing act is my same old shitty mic versus a new nice mic, but that just sounds like static is running through it. It reminds me of that mic that Sage had. Remember when he had to like put his
he had to
foot
put his
on the
finger
top
in
of
the
his
hole or
case?
whatever.
Yeah, he had to
Yeah,
like be
his
touching
finger
his
in the
case,
hole, dude.
ground himself on the
Oh, it's
case to make
funny.
his mic not sound staticky.
That didn't even make sense, bro. I mean, it made sense, but it didn't make sense. By the way, your screen is just black for me.
It's just black.
I don't
Is
know
that
if it,
better?
on your end if it's good. Yeah, did you have to? Yeah, you have to click it.
Yeah, I
It
just
doesn't
clicked
matter.
out of
It's
the
not that
window.
important.
It's fine. I
But
literally
yeah,
did the same thing last time to start with, so
yeah.
it's like incremental improvements.
It's slow. I mean, it's like, I mean, it has to be awful at first. Because if it's ever gonna get good, it's just like we just gotta learn, bro. You know?
Yeah. I gotta say, like, it's really nice having this visual, but I feel like I'm gonna get distracted by it because it's like a
I'm
city I've
already
never been
distracted.
to, and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. I want to go to London now.
You think this looks really nice? I
Yeah,
mean, this
dude.
looks like.
It
I mean,
looks
this is
European. It looks,
fine.
it looks cosmopolitan. I kind of,
Yeah.
I feel like I belong there rather than, than the first three Manhattan videos we clicked
All
on.
right. I thought
Yeah.
you said you wanted to be a park ranger, bro. You should have put like us exploring the woods or some shit.
Oh, see, that would have been lit. See, now I'm regretting not doing that. We should have been
Yeah.
like in the
Next time.
redwoods or something. Yeah, next time. That could be
Yeah.
episode three.
Next time. Going through the
Um,
Appalachian or whatever the other trail you
fuck
said
the
is
Appalachian.
lit.
The Pacific
Yeah,
Crest Trail's where
you
it's at. Yeah.
you hate the Appalachians for
Yeah.
some reason.
It's
So
not that
you'd
I
be
hate
like,
it. It's just a fucking snoozer, dude. It's an old ass mountain range. It's basically just hills. Like it's kind of disrespectful
yeah.
to mountains to even call it the Appalachian Mountain Range because they're just hills.
But still, if you're walking it, it's gotta be pretty rough.
Yeah, if you do the whole thing, it's pretty rough. But that's the thing. Is like you're going to all that effort. Like I want some nice fucking views, and instead it's just like, oh yeah, it's just
It's
there's
just
another
like
there's
time
anher hill.
consuming at that point.
Yeah,
It's just like
exactly.
it's
It's
like
just a
how long
chore.
can I just spend outside?
Exactly. Um,
it, it's like camping with extra steps.
yeah, yeah. I mean, quite literally extra steps.
Yeah.
Um, So what did you think about last week's episode? I know like a few people have watched it and given us a little feedback. How did you think it went?
Yeah, I mean it. Okay, so we kind of talked about this a little bit just now earlier, but I do kind of agree that it felt like I mean, obviously the people who watch it is people we know, but the
Yeah.
people who like actually gave feedback were like people who kind of know us the best, I think, or
Right,
like kind of
right.
know what we were talking about the best. So I think that like it's a good thing that it was relatable for them, but at the same time, I feel like we maybe have to do a better job of contextualizing, I guess, what we're talking about.
Yeah, we got to set it up because
Um,
I feel like we just were like, hey, yeah, like we met on this video game, and just everybody who knows us will know what that video game was because it's like
yeah.
that's like the people we still talk to, but anybody else, even when the game was popular, I had to like explain to people what Combat Arms was
Oh
because
yeah.
everyone was just playing COD, like PC
I was,
gaming wasn't really a
yeah,
thing at the time.
100%. I was gonna say like I would literally explain. I'd be like, yeah, it's like COD, but not, and it's on the
Exactly.
computer.
But better.
Yeah, way better, dude.
Yeah.
It's super dope. It's got like built-in mouse acceleration, and you
Oh
can lag through
Jesus.
walls.
Yeah.
It's fucking lit.
When you
Yeah,
put it that way, it doesn't sound that much different than COD, but
yeah. I guess I never really played God, so like I only play like my buddy's house and stuff. Like I never had an Xbox like 360 or anything. So
yeah, same. I never had a console growing up. I know I've told you
yeah.
that, but like, for the four listeners out there, my parents had like a big thing against um consoles of any kind. Actually, like I remember once
And
when I was a
cable
little
TV.
kid, the PS2 had come out like a few weeks earlier, and my
Yeah.
neighbor, who was in like I don't know how old we were when the PS2 came out. Like, well, let's look it up. PS2 release date.
It was like 2001, 2002, something like that. We were
Yeah,
like 7,
2000. So
something
I
like
was,
that.
like it was probably like 2001 or 2000, but it was like a year or
Yeah,
two it'd been out. And
yeah.
I went to my buddy's house and he had gotten it, and he had this PS1, and he was like, "Hey man, like I know you don't have a console or anything like that. Like if you just give," it was actually like a sweet deal. It was like, he's like, "Give me $20, I'll give you my PS1 and all the games that I have for it." And I was so stoked
That's
because like
lit.
I had $20. I was like, I didn't get an allowance or
Yeah,
anything, but I don't know, like from birthdays or some shit. Like I don't probably
yeah.
don't even have a bank account yet. So I was like, hell yeah, dude. So I go over there, I pick up this PS1, I bring it home. I'm playing that I think it was like SSX or something like that, that snowboard game.
Oh, I love that game.
I was
Yeah,
playing it.
SSX
I'm
Tricky.
having a riot on the TV, and my parents come in. They were like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is just like the PS1 I got from my buddy Ricardo, who's living across the street." I was like, "He's got the PS2. He didn't want it anymore. Like I paid for it. It's all good. It's chill." And they were like, "No, it's not. You got to go take it back." And I was like, "Oh, dude." So they made me take it back, and that was the last time I owned a console for like another 15 years until I got to college
Did he
and got a
keep the 20
PS4.
bucks?
No, he gave it back to me. I mean, we were
Okay,
buddies.
he was cool
He
with
was
it.
like
Yeah.
older. He was in middle school or something like that. So he was really cool. Like
Oh,
he
okay,
kind of like
okay. Yeah.
took me under his wing when I was like a little kid, new kid in the neighborhood. By the way, just real quick, because I got very distracted by that. Look at this guy doing. What is he doing over here on the left?
He's
Hey
sniffing something?
yo,
Yeah,
right?
that's
I
kind
feel
of,
like
I don't know what
I'm
that is,
digging this
bro.
video already. He's doing some kind of sketchy shit.
London, yeah,
Yeah,
this
London
is
doing.
real London footage, bro. This
Yeah,
ain't no curated shit right here.
for real.
Yeah, I have a PS2 story too. I really wanted an N64. Like
Hmm.
my best friend or one of my best like family friends had an N64. We would go over all the time. We'd play like Pokemon Stadium. We'd play like all the fucking games, right? We were over there like all the time.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with getting an N64. This must have been like 2000, 2001. I don't think the GameCube had come out. Maybe the GameCube was like just coming out, or I don't think so. I definitely didn't know what a GameCube was for sure. So
Good
I'm
talking.
asking my mom,
Oh, one.
for this N64. Yeah, maybe this was 2000 then, because I don't think that GameCube had come out, but the PS2 was out. Um, so my mom for Christmas, like I think I'm getting this N64, right? But my mom like goes to GameStop or some shit, and the guy convinces her to get a PS2 instead of an N64 because it
Oh
had like just
shit.
come out or it was new or some shit. And I was so disappointed on Christmas, bro. I was
Damn.
like, as a kid, I had no idea, right? Like, I mean, in
Yeah, yeah.
reality, the PS2 was way more lit. It was like a DVD player, which like back in the day, like people probably don't know now, like DVD players were lit back then. Like we didn't have a DVD player. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
remember
it's
that.
like, it had a DVD player built into the PS2, and it was like the newest system. Like the PS2 was actually like lit as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as 4-year-old or 5-year-old me or whatever was like, what the fuck? This isn't. I can't play Donkey Kong on this. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I feel
You
like they
know?
didn't steer you too far wrong, because like it's not like they gave you like one of those like big flops of a console. Like they at least gave you something
No,
that like
no.
turned into like a huge
It was
thing
lit.
of its own.
It was good advice, but like as a kid, I was just disappointed because like also
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there weren't really like PS2 games for kids. Like there were, but like not really. Like I played like Spyro and like some other shit.
It was
But
Ratchet and Clank. Even that was kind of like a little bit
yeah,
more like
I mean
preteen,
it's
I
kind of
think,
just
maybe,
like
so.
yeah. There wasn't a ton of stuff like
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings games I played later on. I mean, I like my PS2, but like when I got, when I did get a GameCube, I was spoiled as a kid, so I had like every console.
Yeah.
But when I did get a GameCube, it was like fucking, that was my shit. You know what
We
I
made
mean?
it.
Yeah, that was really fucking it. But yeah, I don't know.
We got derailed
Like
from the recap.
yeah, consoles in general, I like as a kid lit, but just not with it anymore. Sarah's trying to play. There.
You're
Um,
good.
what were we talking about? Oh yeah, I guess
We
just
were doing a
recapping
recap, and
whatever the
then we
fuck
started
happened.
talking about
Yeah,
our contextualizing our gaming careers, which went off the
yeah,
rails
with
as our
our
conversations
childhoods.
often do. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
thought it went decently though. All things considered, I feel like we only had to edit out like a couple little segments, which
yeah,
honestly down the line, if we start getting real comfortable, we might not edit out.
yeah.
But other than
We'll
that,
see.
we filled up an hour. I think that's pretty respectable.
Yeah, I mean, I think like depending on the conversations, like we can go more. I mean, I was thinking about this also. Like, I feel like an hour is a lot and also like too much at the same time. Like, I would never want to go longer than 90 minutes right now. I think we probably talked about this last week.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
think
like
so
filling
too.
up an hour, and also maybe we'll keep the Geoguessr only if we like can't fill the time.
No, I think we got to keep
Uh,
the Geoguessr.
oh, we
one.
gotta
I
keep
was
the
actually I've
Geoguessr?
been
Okay.
thinking about the Geoguessr all week. I was
Oh,
first
really?
of all
That's the
first of all
highlight
we
for
need
you.
redemption.
Okay, so here we go. Oh, so for you, the Geoguessr was the highlight of last week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, hell yeah, we gotta keep it then. All right, I love it then.
You
Hell
didn't
yeah.
like it though. You thought that was shit. That
I
whole.
was with it. I just thought it was just like it was just gonna add on too much time. Like it's gonna be like a stressor if we're like an hour and 15 minutes in ever, and we still have to do Geoguessr. You know what I mean? That's just where my head was at.
On the one
It's
hand,
just like,
yes. On the other hand, if we're gonna be doing these, if we're just gonna be throwing these up on YouTube, for example,
yeah,
you can just put like this video even has it, like these little time segments, like boom,
yeah.
Glass
Oh,
House Street,
I already
boom. We
have
just
that shit on. Yeah, I
yeah.
put that in for the last one. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even
So
see it.
we're
I was
good.
just listening to it. So well, there you go.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's time. Oh, did
So
you
from
actually
that
do a
perspective,
listen through?
I'm not worried about it. What?
Did you do a listen through?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I listened to it a few times, like right afterwards, but I listened to it like sped up once it was on YouTube. So
Yeah. I was working, so I'll be honest. I wasn't really looking at the video the
yeah,
entire time. I feel like I kind of knew what was on the video, which is
yeah, of course,
90% of it was just
nothing.
nothing at all. So here we are this week with a nice video of London at night.
Yeah, if anyone was curious, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to this guy's YouTube channel, Watched Walker. It makes it sound really fucking
Yeah,
sketchy,
what the
but
fuck? That's like
whatever.
some fucking Nightwalker shit. Whatever. What was that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh, Nightcrawler? I need to
Nightcrawler.
look.
Yeah, that movie was pretty sick. Yeah, we're in Chinatown right now. You see this?
Yeah, I do see that.
No Chinese people though. Yet.
When did I ever tell you about my story in I forget if it was in New York or in San Francisco maybe. I think it was New York. For some reason my dad and I were walking around in Chinatown
Oh,
when I was a
one of
kid.
these Chinatowns. Yeah.
Yeah, well, every
They're all the
major
same,
city's got 'em.
Yeah, God.
But we're walking around. I mean, honestly, this story is gonna kind of like really fit in with the narrative that you're you're kind of building up. We're walking around and we're there's like always like cool shit. Like
Yeah.
there's like exotic cool shit. And we're walking
Street
by this one
vendors,
place and
people
it's
selling
got
weird
like
shit.
they've got there's like a storefront window, and there's like all these like kind of freeze dried looking like seafood items, and there's just a bucket full of seahorses that are just like
Oh,
freeze dried
what?
seahorses. Yeah, and we just like couldn't help it. Like my dad busts out his camera and he's like, I got to take a picture. This is crazy. I didn't even know you could eat seahorses. The guy comes flying out of the store. He's like, no. He's like, no camera. Like starts yelling at my dad, like swinging this like not like a broom. I think maybe it was a broom or something. Like he's like swinging like a broom thing at him. My dad's like, whoa, like sorry, like we're not cops or anything. Like we don't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
whatever these endangered seahorses are, like eat them up. Like we just thought it was like crazy. You've got a bucket full of them. He's like, no camera. So that was a funny little experience in Chinatown as we make our way through
How big
London's
were
Chinatown
they?
here. The person or the
No, the
seahorses?
seahorses.
The seahorses, they were like probably like 4 to 6 inches tall, kind of.
Oh wow, they're pretty big then.
Yeah,
I always imagined
the
seahorses,
tail
like,
was like
tiny.
curled up though, so I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I don't have like a much more of a concept. It wasn't like the little mini tiny ass ones that you see at the
Yeah.
aquarium or anything. Like they were like there's some good size Chinese seahorses.
Aquariums are lit, by the way. I feel like we talked about this before, but aquariums and zoos are like mega underrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just dope.
Yeah, I agree. I love walking around and just. I feel like I've talked about this with my girlfriend Kylie too. I'm just like a repository of like random facts in general, and animals in particular. Like I get super into it. Like when we were living down in Virginia, like during the peak of COVID, I would just be like geeking out on all the like different birds and animals that you could see during the day. I'd be like, damn, like look at that great blue heron, look at that osprey, look at that whatever other
Yeah.
birds are flying around. Just getting way too amped up about it, and then after the fact being like, oh, that's kind of a little bit cringy, but
No, that's a lit. Dude, you should start doing bird watching or something. I feel like that's pretty cool.
when I was I think what got me into it was the fact that my grandparents were really into bird watching.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like when I would go up to Maine in the summer, they had like a whole like one of the books, like a book of birds,
yeah.
and you like flip through it and they've got like pictures of all the birds and like their territories and like what their call sounds like, like typed out, or it's just like skrrr, chee 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 chee, beep beep beep, like typed out SKRR, whatever. I think that definitely contributed to me getting into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's like one of those hobbies though. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I know. I'm just gonna say it. It's like weird to have that hobby when you are kind of young. You know what I mean? Like that's like
Yeah.
a mega old. Just because it's
It's
just
a
like
real old
I'm
people
doing this because it's literally just a way to waste my time. Like just burn out the rest of my life. Like I'm just gonna sit outside and just like look for birds, which are like I don't have any real idea that they're coming. I'm just like, I'm gonna get super stoked if there's one I've never seen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, that's the thing that I think I wouldn't really like about getting into that hobby is I'm pretty impatient,
Yeah,
and I feel like
yeah.
just like going and like if I was just sitting on a bench just to sit on a bench, I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty nice, this is pretty cool. But if I'm sitting there like, damn, I really hope this swallow-tailed kite shows up today, and then I'm just there for 4 hours and it doesn't show up, I'd be like, motherfucker, like I just spent 4 hours of my life sitting here waiting for this bastard, and he just never pulled up.
Yeah, you think that's like, this is definitely more boring than watching TV. But do you think like, do you look more down on the person who sits there watching TV for 4 hours or sitting at the park looking for fucking birds?
Probably the TV guy.
Like you say that, but I feel like most people would be like, dude, if you're in the park looking for birds for 4 hours, like what the fuck's going on with you?
Here's
Whereas
the
like
thing.
most people probably watch like 4 hours of
I
TV.
gotta like differentiate between the different kinds of TV viewing because I feel like if you're binging a show, I'm all
Yeah.
for it. But if you're just like completely absent-mindedly just flipping through the channels, I mean, you honestly, you might as well be out there just looking for a bird. At least you're out in, in nature and kind of breathing some fresh air. And
I mean, what if you're not flipping the channels, but you're just watching like trash reality TV for like
yeah,
4 hours? Or like the news, which might as well be trash reality TV as far as I'm concerned.
the commercials are what gets me. I fucking can't stand commercials, man. I get like angry at commercials when commercials come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've talked about this like in the context of like watching Twitch and like even like YouTube and like having an ad blocker and shit. I just like if you're gonna ask me to like watch even 30 seconds of ads, I'm already out of there, dude. I just can't handle it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like, whenever I watch something on my phone, it's like honestly like torture. I'm just like, bro, another fucking
Infuriating.
ad. Like,
Absolutely
what the
infuriating.
fuck? I don't know how anybody watches like YouTube without ad block, bro. I don't even know how it's possible. Like, I don't think I could do it, you know?
You know what's really funny? The people that don't care are the same people that are out there watching the birds.
Yeah, probably. NPCs, bro.
Yeah.
Literal
Exactly.
little brainlet NPC men.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, since we're already talking about TV, I feel like we have to talk about House of Dragons a little bit. I mean, we watched it together, so we kind of already did. But you have any extra thoughts on it? Like, I'll just go in and say I think Game of Thrones is kind of back. I gotta be real with it. I felt good
Wow.
energy from it. I'm not saying it's like a full redemption. I mean, it's not gonna be like insane, but I feel like this is gonna be better than like this is gonna be like maybe like season 6 level, season 5, season 6, something like that. Like
I feel like that's
at the
what kind of
tail
when it
end of the
started
good
to get
stuff.
shitty though, because that's just about when they went past the end of the
Yeah.
books, right?
But it was still good then. It was still that's what I'm saying. Like I think it'll be good, but it's gonna be. I mean, I don't want to give like spoilers or anything. I mean,
I
I
was
guess it
gonna
doesn't
say
really matter.
that's gonna be the kind of the fine line to walk here is not giving.
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, dude,
Whoa,
I know. I
whoa!
was looking
God
at
damn,
that
this van
too,
almost ran us over.
bro. Jesus, bro. Fucking sketchy.
For
But yeah.
real. Um,
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. My only issue, and I guess this is a topic we can talk about too. Like, what is up with casting, bro? Why is everyone in the show fucking disgusting looking? It's crazy, bro. Like, is it hard? Is it that hard? It can't be hard to cast good-looking people. We know because like the original Game of Thrones, like honestly, had a pretty solid cast.
No, you were
So
hung up on that during the show too. I remember
I
that.
know. I just can't believe. It
Yeah, I
just
mean this. I mean
blows
even
my
that's
mind
rough. I mean
that I
all due
can't see
respect
it
to
right
Millie
now.
Alcock, but
It's all
you can't
black
see it.
here. Yeah. But it's like
Well, you'll
I'm
have to
just
take
like
my word for it.
I'm kind of
I'm
just
looking at the main
sick.
character. Wait, what do you see right now? You don't.
It's just black. I see black with your cursor.
Oh shit. All right.
I mean, if it's showing up on your end, that's fine. You might have to unfull screen the video first. I don't know. No, it's just black. Oh,
Are we back?
yeah. No, but I don't see any video.
Interesting.
I don't know. Oh,
Oh,
put it up again. I had it, then I didn't have it. Okay, I got it now. We're back on the video, baby.
weird.
Um. All
Well,
right.
there's our
Yeah.
first piece that we can cut.
Yeah. Or we'll just keep it.
Yeah, true too.
I don't give a fuck. But yeah,
You're right. I feel like if
feel
we're gonna live up to the worst podcast to ever do it name, we gotta just leave that in there.
it's just a weird ass trend in TV and movies now where it's like ugly people. Like we're just casting ugly people, but we're not casting them in roles where like it's not like Steve Buscemi, who's like a character actor, or like Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's like he plays like that weird guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's like a character role. Like we're casting them in like this is supposed to be like the most beautiful princess role, and she's just like at best average looking. Which I guess like contextually, like if we're being realistic, like these beautiful princesses in history probably were just like average to kind of ugly people, but they like could bathe.
Sheesh.
So yeah, we're
You
just
know,
back to
another thing
black
that I just
screen.
realized with the video, speaking of it being the worst podcast ever, the scene, the the application scene, somehow just
Yeah.
moved like a good 3 inches down my
Oh
screen.
yeah, I
So we're cutting
did.
off like the bottom inch and a half of the video. But you know what? I feel like that fits right into our narrative. That's like a perfect episode 2 little
Dude, it'll be great because like
snafu.
people could like if they anyone ever goes back and watches from episode 1, they'll just see the progress. Like they'll be
Yeah,
so impressed that we
yeah.
ever made it because they'll be like, dude, this was such a disaster. How the fuck did they make it past episode 1,
The real game
episode
changer is
2,
going to be
episode
when I
3?
just get like a normal sounding mic. I feel like because that was kind of the thing that annoyed me the most about episode 1 was the
Yeah.
sound of my mic was just I was not having a good time listening to that.
I mean, you said you don't like the sound of your voice in general, right?
Um, yeah, I feel like that's pretty common though, right? I don't think anybody really likes listening to their own voice.
I like it.
Well,
Hot take, maybe. Doesn't bother me. I actually like it's kind of exciting for me when I hear myself. When I see myself like on video, I feel like it's a little bit weird. Like I always feel like, is that really me? You know what I mean? But
yeah, sure, bro.
hearing
Sure, I guess.
myself, no, I don't know. I feel weirder. See, like when I record those videos, like if all right. So for people who don't know, I work out a lot, and I post these cringy videos of me like flexing at the gym if I have like a pump. And when I see videos of that, that's more jarring to me, than just hearing
I
my
mean,
voice,
listen,
for example.
I'll tell you right now, and you look good. Like
Yeah.
honestly, huge props to you. Like with the progress you've made working out the last few
Uh,
years.
no, hit me with
The
it. Yeah.
videos are absolutely cringy.
Oh yeah, I know they're cringy.
The
I know they're
facial
cringy. I know they're
expressions you're
cringy.
making when you're doing like your flexes.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
know.
like
I
you're
know.
doing like a
I
little
know.
duck face kind of a thing. You
I'm
got a
not.
real
It's just because I'm holding my breath. But yeah.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it. But
Uh,
you know, just to maybe give you some both positive and negative reassurance on that front. They definitely do look a little weird. Like you don't look natural like the way you normally do when you're doing those
okay. Yeah.
videos.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but even if like record like those fucking random Pokemon videos I've recorded and stuff, I always feel like even just like looking at myself, it's just a little bit weird. But
Yeah. No,
or
I
it's like the
get that. I get
combination of
that
looking and seeing myself.
I get that
Yeah.
at work when I'm, like if I have to be on video for like a meeting at work,
Yeah.
I get really distracted by my own face in the bottom corner. Like I
Mhm.
find myself just like constantly looking at it. I'm like, do I look like fucking weird right now? Like do like am I making a weird face? Is like my hair all falling off to the side somewhere? Like um
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's because we're dudes and we're not just like. I mean, maybe this is gonna be sexist as fuck, but like, I'm not just like looking in the mirror all the time. You know what I mean? Or like always like trying to fix my hair. Like, I don't spend time like doing my makeup in the morning and shit like that. So like, I'm not spending a ton of time like with my face. I guess like looking directly at it. So
I think I do, but only to the extent that my hair. I mean, as you know, I'm growing out my hair, and I've been growing out my hair
yeah,
basically since like the start of COVID. I've finally got it to the point where I can kind of get it all up into a bun. But that's the thing is it doesn't quite all go up into the bun. I've still got like a really awkward like inch and a half to go on the sides where my hair will just like fall out and it's like fall out of the bun and it's just like it literally will just be like hanging off to the side looking like a side rat tail or something. It's like really
yeah.
strange looking. So I'm like self-conscious about that, particularly I think in the context of work, but like also just in general. I'm like, Jesus, I look like a fucking moron. I can't wait for this phase to be over and then honestly just fucking cut it all off.
Yeah.
uh,
Here's the thing. I don't know how much you look like your family, but do you ever see yourself from certain angles and like you see someone else that you know? Like when I see my face from the side sometimes, I literally like see like my dad. Like I think of my dad
mm,
when I was young. Like looking at my dad when I was young. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
crazy. It's really weird, bro. I swear to God. Like sometimes I'll wake up and like when I'm a little disoriented, like I'm getting up and like if I see like a side angle of my face, like I literally get like a flashback. You know what
You're
I
like,
mean?
oh my god, it's Freaky Friday. I've swapped bodies with my
Yeah, it's
dad.
so fucking weird. Like I just see him. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
really weird.
You
Not
know,
from not directly from the front, but from the side. Oh, go on.
I don't get it the same way. I think, but for me, what I experience is like just like a weird kind of connections because like when my dad was roughly my age right now, he also had hair like this, like it was like really long, like he
Okay.
grew it out and he
Yeah.
had like a bun and a ponytail. And when I was a kid, I was like, I will never do that. I was like, that's like insane. And like my hair was long when I was a kid. I was like attempting a Justin Bieber flow, despite the fact that I had kind of like curly-ish, wavy-ish hair, which just obviously is
Yeah.
not
It never
conducive to that.
works.
Yeah, so I kind of looked like a doofus anyway, but I was just like, my parents were like, just tie it up in like a ponytail and see how it looks. And I was like, I will not. And then like I turned whatever I got hit my mid 20s and I was like, oh, why not? Let's give it a try, see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's funny. I had like the inverse path. Like I always had really long hair, and now I'm like disgusted by having like the thought of growing my hair out again. Like as much as I loved it, it's like I just can't. Like I literally just can't.
Well, I remember. I mean, that it coincided with you kind of starting to work out, right? Because I remember kind of convincing you to do both. I was like, you hit the gym.
uh,
I was like, you should cut your hair, like get a nice little. I remember like distinctly being like, get a nice little taper on the sides. You'll look fresh as
yeah.
fuck. It'll like, it'll make you
I
like look
waited a
like a lot
while
kind
though.
of different. I guess. I think you kind of wanted a different look in general. So it's like,
I know. I waited like a year and a half, almost 2 years though, from when I started working out to cutting my hair.
oh
Actually.
really? All right.
Yeah, yeah, I did wait. I do remember you saying that, but I was really reticent back then still
Yeah,
to cut my
yeah,
hair. I was
yeah. I
really
remember it
attached
was
to
like
my
it was like a
hair.
fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like really attached to it. Cause dude, I mean, you kind of probably get it now. Like you spend so much time like growing it out, and you have to like deal with it every day, and you have to like, it's like a whole process when you have
It's
long
really
hair.
the
Like I kind of
time
get it.
spent growing it out. I feel like it's
Yeah,
like sunk time, and like
exactly. The sunk cost sounds.
yeah,
It's just like,
exactly.
like what if I don't like it? What if I want my hair back? Like I'm gonna the 3 more years I have to grow it out again. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Especially
Yeah.
now at the stage that I'm in, where like I had a kind of, I had it tapered on the sides, and that's the reason now that I'm just getting absolutely screwed by like this kind of weird hair growth situation I've got because it's really long up
Yeah.
on top, and but like the sides are just, they were like an
Why
inch
don't
and
you
a
just
half
even it
shorter to
out?
start with.
Why don't you just get like a little haircut even out?
Because it's not really the evening out that's the problem. It's the problem. It's like the problem is that it's not long enough for me to get it all back into the bun.
I see, yeah. So,
So
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Nah, I feel that, I feel
I'll
that.
give you an update in like 6 months when we're on, episode. We'll do like an episode 30 update or something with
Yeah.
can Stas get all of his hair up into a bun yet?
I wonder, like, because everyone has like a natural length that their hair will like keep growing and then it really slows down, right? So I wonder like if you're hitting that point already. Like is it still consistently growing at the same rate? Like for me, I mean, given my hair is really curly, I think your hair is curly too, right? So
Yeah, it's
it's
pretty
probably
curly.
pretty similar. Like once I got it down to around my shoulders, like it was way slower growing after that. Like
Mm.
probably like I had it at that length for like a year before it even like started going lower,
Part of that, I mean,
or like
how often were
noticeably.
you getting your hair cut? Because one thing that I've learned
Never,
that I didn't
never.
know, see, that's the problem, is
Yeah,
you
maybe.
actually it's like pruning a plant. You have to
Uh,
like in order to like make it grow more, you almost have to like cut the like really dead parts at the ends off, and then like that kind of
yeah,
encourages it to grow more, which
really?
I had no idea. Yeah, no, I've heard this from multiple women now because I've like asked them about it. I'm like, I
I'm
feel like it's
saying fake
slowing
news
down.
on that, bro.
You think that's not true?
I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me because it's just like dead. I mean, it's just collagen, and I don't know why cutting at the end would stimulate the root.
Does
It just doesn't
cutting
make
your
sense
hair,
to me.
this is let's see, this is where having this browser open comes in handy. Does cutting your hair make it grow fast? Look at that, #1 search. The answer is no. Okay, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm
That's a little
calling Boshi on it.
that's
Yeah,
bro science
it's
from the ladies.
fem
It's
science.
sister science.
sis Sister science, dude. Hell yeah.
It
Yeah,
also
I don't
says
know.
that doesn't technically make regular trims any less important. Whatever that means. I'm too lazy to fucking click
Yeah, you
anything.
know
I'm
what that
scrolling
is?
back
They're
to
like, you
London.
have to get rid of split ends and other,
Well,
yada yada
that's the
bullshit.
angle that kind of made sense to me. I was like, okay, like maybe like something with the split ends, like your hair is like just gives up. Like it doesn't make sense to me either. I was kind of like, are you really? But you know what?
It
I'm glad we
sounds
Googled it now
believable.
because now I can be like, you're wrong,
Yeah.
and shut up next
Yeah,
time
no,
somebody
I feel
tells me
like.
that.
Oh, look at this chick's got like that white hair, bro. Yeah, maybe it's just blonde, but it just gives me like a bit. I'm not even just saying this because of the House of Dragons shit, but that style's kind of in now, where chicks are like dyeing their hair white. I think that's hot, bro. I gotta be
Yeah,
honest.
you like the bleach look? I like the bleach look too. That was the first thing I did during COVID, like before I even started growing it out. I've now got
Yeah.
like 3 inches at the end of my, I don't know, like 11, 12 inch, however long my hair is now. There's like a 3 inches that's still just bleached. Like I never got it like fixed or anything.
Yeah.
So my bun is like bleach blonde, and the rest of my hair is kind of like darker. It's kind of funny looking.
I'm not even talking about bleach blonde. I'm talking about where it's just like straight up white, like whitish gray.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
Oh,
is the
okay.
kind
Is
of
that the
bleach.
same thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
okay,
mean
yeah,
like
yeah.
bleach like platinum blonde. I guess maybe is like
Yeah.
another way that they put it. But yeah, yeah, like that kind of
I feel
like
like platinum blonde has like a slightly different, like more of like a shiny look, I guess, from what I'm thinking of. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's
yeah.
like very similar.
Platinum blonde. Maybe I'm like misrepresenting it here. I mean, can you see my screen now? Is it
No,
working?
again, it's still black.
Oh yeah. So okay, I'll fix that in a second. Here, I'll switch it right now. I actually know what to do. I know how to make this work. Change
Save
windows.
me.
We'll just do it like this. I don't think you're gonna have audio, but
Oh
whatever.
hell
You're
yeah.
listening
Okay,
anyway.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about on the
Yeah,
left,
yeah, yeah.
or
Something
like
like that,
second on the
right?
left.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's platinum blonde. I don't know. Bleach blonde. I feel like bleach blonde's kind of the same thing, really. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same
it's
kind of idea.
similar. Yeah, it's similar.
Um, But yeah, going back to what we were talking about, speaking to bring it full circle again of House of Dragons, I'm not totally sold yet. I think like I think there was like this big kind of like expectation that it would be like really shitty, and because it's not really shitty, I think people's like view of it is like tainted, and they're like, wow, it's actually like I think it's really good, and I'm not sold. I need like a couple more episodes. I need to know more of the story. I need it to like develop a little bit. I'm not gonna say it's not promising, but I'm not convinced that it's like yeah, like Game of Thrones is back.
I mean, here's the reason I think it's pretty good. I feel like okay, as much as I shit on the casting for how they looked, um, I think that the main, I guess I'm assuming he's the antagonist, Damon or whatever the fuck. I thought that guy was really good.
I think
Um,
most of the acting was pretty good. I'm not disappointed in the acting, but I was never really. I mean, that was never really the issue at the end of regular Game of Thrones
nah, the
either. It was really
writing and
just the
acting is
writing.
really bad.
I don't
Yeah,
think. I
yeah,
think it
yeah.
was. I think it was the acting was like a byproduct of how like dog shit the writing was by the end. And
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know. I feel like
it was the same
it's kind of
actors for the
it
most
was a
part.
double issue.
Like I guess there
Yeah,
was like
but
some
that's what
new
I was about to
characters,
say.
but
The actors that I thought were weakest were getting like bigger and bigger roles, though. You know what
okay,
I
yeah,
mean?
that's fair.
So,
Well,
like I feel like Sansa's character, like as much as I like Sansa as a character, like it just like the development, like I think it was really poorly done, like in execution wise, and I thought her acting was pretty lackluster.
you know what I think that
Towards
was
the
was
end.
the way the character developed. Like I think it was like a strong casting for the way the character was at the beginning, and then I'm not sure that she could act the same way when the character changed.
Yeah,
And that might be a reflection of like the quality of the actor too, but like I don't think like the early acting was bad. I think like it was good casting for like
but they didn't
like a
require a
young
lot of her.
teenager
That's the
kind of
thing.
like, huh?
Like they didn't require a lot of her early on. Like a lot of it was just like, oh, I'm like submissive to Joffrey, but I'm like kind of upset about it. You know, like that's kind of like her character for like 4 seasons, dude. Uh,
Yeah, that's fair.
like there wasn't like she wasn't really doing a lot, I guess. And okay, like honestly, I
That's
know what
also
you're
writing
saying.
though, because she was really
Yeah, that's true.
obnoxious. Like they made her annoying as shit, and there was like no
Yeah,
justification for it. Like it was just like, all right, like she's just an obnoxious bitch now, kind of.
I love the idea of the character though. Like the character arc is in theory is like really good. I love that character arc where like she starts off, and like it like she organically developed up to a point, and then she just skipped like 50 steps.
Yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right. I agree. I
Um,
agree, and that's where I think that's a writing
yeah,
thing. But maybe
yeah,
not. It's probably a combination of both.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, in general, yeah, the casting was the only thing I was kind of mixed on, and I'm not talking about just to clear the elephant in the room now. I'm not one of these people that's like super upset that they cast like a black Targaryen because I feel like that could be like totally I mean, like, dude, they literally come from like a land that's been like destroyed. Like, who
Did
knows what the fuck
I
Valyria
mean,
fucking
hang on,
was?
hang on.
I mean,
Did they even say that he was a Targaryen? Because to me, I thought
yeah.
he was just like on the council or whatever. Like he
I
can
mean,
be on the council and not be a Targaryen, right?
well, he's married to a Targaryen, and he has like the Targaryen
Oh
hair,
yeah, I guess
and his
they all
kids were
do. I thought he was
Targaryens.
just
So,
I thought he was just
nah,
like
I'm pretty sure, because
his
he also
kids.
had like a special name. Yeah, his kids were like those mixed kids that they were like holding hands next to each other at the tournament.
Oh, I don't even remember that. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, who is pissed about that? I mean, other than just like straight up racist
Jimmy.
people. All right. All right. Well, bleep that one out, maybe. I don't
No,
think he's
no,
gonna
no,
appreciate you
no.
throwing him under the bus like that. But maybe I don't know.
Nah,
Maybe he
he'll
won't
defend
care.
himself.
Um. Yeah. I don't know. I actually I feel like that's like more of like a narrative thing. Like I
People
don't.
are upset about that shit, bro.
Are they
You
really?
know, right wing people are upset about that shit, bro.
Right wing
Even
people
if you're
aren't
not like
watching
overtly
Game of Thrones,
racist,
though, are they?
I think they are, bro. I mean, maybe not. I don't fucking know. I
Maybe.
mean, it's big enough that I feel like they have to.
They just have to react to it either. They have no context. They're just
Yeah.
like, what?
Like, okay, and here's the thing. We've talked about this before, so I don't want to beat this up completely. But like, when it's a historical character that they're literally like race changing, I do think that's weird. Like taking
Yeah.
someone who like historically was literally white and
Yeah.
then making
Yeah.
them black is a
Especially if
little
you're
bit
not
weird
trying
to
to
me.
make it like this is kind of like a, like an artistic interpretation where they're just like, no, like
Yeah.
what's wrong with this? Like they're just a good actor. Like yeah, like that's not, like that's just not how it works. Like I
Like, you
don't.
know what did this really well, actually? Have you seen, like, the Romeo and Juliet remake with, like,
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio? Like,
Yeah.
that is a
Yeah.
movie where, like, okay, people shit on that movie. I think it's actually pretty, like, it's a really interesting concept. I actually think it's pretty decent. Where they kept all, like, the original, like, script from Romeo and Juliet, basically, but, like,
Yeah.
modernized it into, like, this weird, like, late 90s, early 2000s thing.
Yeah. I
It's
remember
a really
watching that in
interesting
school.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really interesting movie. And I'd recommend anyone watch it. But like they do it really good. I think like one side is kind of like from what I just off memory, like one of them is like obviously like Hispanic or something, and one of them is like very white. You know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah.
supposed to take place in fucking Italy. So obviously it's like completely fucking we're shifting everything. But it's like it's artistic, it's deliberate, and it's like executed really well. Like I
It's
have
not
no
a
issue with that.
non-fiction character either. Like it's not
Yeah,
like a
that's true.
non-fictional character. Like I don't know. I think there's like an element of like casting somebody that looks like whoever they're playing if it's a real fiction, like non-fictional, like a real historical character, right? Like
Yeah, true.
JFK, for example, or like Martin Luther. Like you wouldn't cast a white guy as Martin Luther King. You wouldn't cast like a
100%.
black
Yeah.
guy as JFK. Like it just doesn't make sense. That sort of thing. Um, but I don't know. I guess like to each their own. Like I'm not entirely against it either, but I just feel like it's hard. It's very very hard to pull it off in a way that like that isn't distracting, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, it's also just like I don't know. It's kind of just like why? Like, what is the actual advantage to it? Because I feel like you're just inviting criticism that's just like unneeded. Especially when like I feel like there's so many roles now at this point. I think in Hollywood for minorities that are like appropriate that. And I don't mean to say like appropriate, like oh they should be in their place, but like there are like you can literally be like any race and have like a leading role in like a major action film or a major romance film. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It's not like the 50s where like an Asian man can't kiss a white woman. I mean,
yes,
Asian men
but
are
I
probably
also
a
am
little
not
bit.
sure that that's actually true. There's definitely still like work to be done on like inclusivity and like equal opportunities and things like that. But
Honestly, like in mass media, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's true. I
maybe
mean,
not. I'm
maybe
not
this
gonna
is a
act
hot
like I
take.
consume
I
enough
feel
mass
like
media.
there's like an overrepresentation, I think, of actual minorities I'm not even saying this like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying I think that there's more like and the fact that every movie or like every TV show has to have like a homosexual character, like one person of every race, like that's honestly not representative of the majority of the population. When if you're like actually breaking down, now I don't give a fuck about this stuff, but I'm just saying like I don't think that there is actually you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, I'm sure
at
a
this
lot of
point,
it's probably just like an effort to compensate for like the
I'm fine with that.
decades and decades of like oppressing people in those various like minority groups, which I understand. Like I'm not opposed to
I'm
that.
not against it either, but I'm saying that the argument that there's not like that there isn't inclusivity, I think is I think at this point it's wrong. I'm not saying historically it was inaccurate.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean like there's so many. I mean, I will say maybe Asian dudes. I shouldn't like Indian dudes and Asian dudes. Honestly, probably are still getting kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, African Americans. Honestly, Hispanic people are too. Honestly, dude, considering like, are there more Hispanic people than black people in the U.S.? There
couldn't
might
tell you.
be, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think black people.
Really?
I think black people are about like 13 or 14% or something like that. I think Hispanics like 7 or 8. I think it's
I mean, who is like the most famous Hispanic actor you could think of? That's like a leading man. I mean, you could
George
probably list
Lopez.
off like, no, stop, don't say that, bro. Holy shit, bro,
No,
that's
maybe
sad if that's
Antonio
true.
Banderas is a good one. Like
Yeah, Antonio
as like a
Banderas was like,
serious
well, no,
character,
he's
as a
Spanish, bro.
serious actor.
He's not Hispanic, he's Spanish.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Wait, is he? I don't even know.
I think so.
I don't know,
I'm
neither. I
pretty
don't
sure
know, dude. I
he's
don't.
from
You know
Spain,
what? You're
bro.
asking the wrong guy because like I watch like 2 movies a year and that's
Okay.
pretty much it. So I
I'm thinking
couldn't tell you.
I'm thinking who's the guy? Oh man, this guy's such a beast. I think he's Colombian. God, how am I forgetting? He was just the
Talking about that old
dad
guy.
in Dune. No, he was like the father in Dune. Oscar Isaac. He's Hispanic, right? Yeah, he's from Guatemala. Oscar Isaac's probably, I mean, first of all, he's a fucking stud.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. That's the
And he's
dude
really good.
from
He's in like
from that
everything,
new
bro.
Star Wars movie too, right? He's been in a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff lately.
he's
Yeah,
in like
yeah.
everything. Yeah, he's really good though. He's in Moon Knight, whole bunch of shit. Um, but there aren't like Hispanic people. I feel like in media, kind of maybe Hispanic dudes particularly, because I feel like there's a lot of Hispanic women because they're kind of like sexualized. But
Well, why don't we change that, man? We'll start. That could be the next our goal if we ever bring guests on is to make sure that we've got equal representation of all
yeah, first
races,
guest,
ethnicities,
Hotshot
religions,
X305.
sexual
Get our Hispanic
orientations.
men.
Uh, um, I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm
well,
sure
yeah,
I'm missing
that's a good
something there,
idea.
but
We should instead of that, we should only have just like different types of dudes who we feel like, because I feel like that's the whole
yeah,
thing. We gotta just have like Hispanic dude month, Asian dude month, Indian dude month.
yeah. I mean that.
You just go off down the line, bro. Become a men's rights podcast. That's apparently how you get trending on YouTube.
Hey yo, that's how you get banned off YouTube. I don't know.
Oh yeah, apparently.
Yeah, we won't.
Yeah,
We
we're
should probably
really good
avoid
now.
commenting
I
on
don't
that,
even
to
think
be
we want to talk about
honest.
that. I mean, that's also
Yeah,
just like we just don't
that's a
even know
can of worms
anything
that
about
doesn't even need to
that.
be open. There's no
Yeah,
need to give it any attention. Like it's not even worth it. Like that's.
I'm a. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I mean, I was just gonna say you want to talk about like just like pretty objectively bad people. Like that's like that's I think that's the type of like person in media that we should be worried about more than anything else because
Well, here's an
it's just
interesting
kind of
topic. It's
embarrassing.
not necessarily has to do with like it has to do with that, but not directly. Like, what do you think about like just like the social media like banning misinformation and stuff like that, just as a concept, or like
Um,
basically types of messages that they don't like? You think that's their role? You think that you're cool with that?
it's really hard because like the whole premise of the internet early on was that it was just like no holds barred, you know, wild west. You say whatever you want, you consume whatever you want. Like there's a little bit of something for everybody. But I think it's getting to the point now where it's becoming you could argue it's becoming too toxic for its own good. And like it's just becoming like this kind of like never-ending cycle of just like kind of really like I think pretty objectively just like shitty trains of thought and like shitty kind of ideas being promoted that like just don't really have any place in modern society. Like it's like I don't think it's as like as gray as people make it out to be. In other words, like if you're having a regular conversation with somebody and there's certain things you would say and there's certain things that you wouldn't say, you shouldn't say the things that you wouldn't say online just because you're anonymized, right? Like that's not like an excuse to just like spew like
Okay,
horrible
let
shit,
me
in my
just
opinion.
push back a little bit. I feel like there's a really clear difference though between like harassment, for example, which I feel like is like kind of some like there's some level of like messaging and like just saying stuff that like is kind of harassment. Like when you're just like you're just talking about how like trans people don't exist and how they should be dead or something. I mean that's obviously like, egregious and like basically borderline. That's like harassment at that point. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
yeah.
not like having a
That's
different
yeah,
message.
arguably worse than harassment,
But
honestly. But yeah,
yeah, you get what I'm saying.
yeah.
Obviously that stuff I feel like needs to be censored, but there is some level of like you said basically that there's like messaging that like in modern society we just like shouldn't have out there, right? But if it's that bad, if it's that like archaic and the arguments are like that weak, I mean, I feel like people should just you should just let them say what they want and like let them get stomped out naturally, right?
The
Like
problem is
if
though
your
is
argument
that they
is
don't get
so
stomped
easy
out.
to, yeah, but then I guess the question is like, how wrong is it then? I mean, if you can't easily beat the argument, right? Then who are you to say like who is like YouTube to decide that what side is right and what side is wrong? I mean, that's the only
Here's the
thing I'm
thing
saying.
is
Like,
I think you could here's my is you could beat just about like any one of these opinions or arguments or like thoughts or like alleged facts or anything like that. You could easily beat it if you were like communicating with somebody who was like rational, logical, and could, make kind of like a form an educated opinion without the taint of their own self-interest or emotions,
yeah,
impacting whatever it is. But I think like unfortunately, particularly in American society, and I think like most kind of Western civilized societies, really, is that there's a very healthy portion of the population that is just like unable to think like that for themselves, and they read the first thing they see online and they just take it as gospel, and they will just go down like to the death fighting for it. And like I think that's kind of the where the problem comes in. It's just like, frankly speaking, most of the population, like, not really that educated or intelligent. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, like I'm the smartest guy in the world, or you're the smartest guy in the world, or like the people that we
yeah,
talk to are. But there's like definitely a substantial percentage of the population that are the loudest, really. Like maybe it's like even 10%. I'm gonna call is like a substantial portion of the population, right? That can like make like a really annoying stink for everybody else, and it's just like not worth the energy of dealing with it when you could just snuff it out at the source, I think.
yeah. I mean, and not to like jerk us off too much, but I do feel like even though most of our friend group, I guess online, just in general, even if we don't agree with each other, we have pretty varying views. We're all like fairly open minded, at least to listening. And I think that is I think that's really the biggest thing that's lacking in terms of the misinformation stuff. I mean, that's where I think it's tricky. And I mean, just to reiterate something you said, where it's not like you pick a side and then you're open to hearing the other side's argument. You just pick a side and now you're on that team, and
Exactly.
it doesn't matter it does like I could have I could have perfect information. There's
Yep.
nothing I could provide to you that could ever change your mind because I'm a lib or something like
That's the
that. You know what
thing.
I mean?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. Everything is
Yeah.
politics. Like
Yeah.
everything has become politicized. Like there's no just like regular
Yeah.
discourse or conversation. And because of like the nature of our political structure in the US in particular, it's always just like you're on my side or you're with the ops. It's just like
Yeah.
there's no in between. Like there's no room for any discourse. There's no room to like change your opinion and like still hold other opinions. It's just like once you've hardlined one thing, you've hardlined all of it, and you just gotta like go down with that ship, basically. And it's really frustrating, honestly. It's kind of like what has me like totally disillusioned with like government in general. Like I don't want to even vote really because it's like I don't even want to vote for like the party that I would support
Yeah.
given the predominance of my like political opinions, because it's just like I still don't agree with some other of the opinions, and like you're just forcing me into all of it at once.
Yeah. I mean, the political system is like intentionally just difficult to deal with.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I don't know. We shouldn't get too into the weeds with it.
I was gonna
But
say,
I
speaking
thought
of
it was
like
interesting.
irrational, like being willing to listen to other people's opinions and kind of being rational about it, something that we're definitely not rational about. How about we talk some sports and touch on something that
Yeah.
we missed last week with that LeBron James extension, which I think is just absolutely egregious.
You think it's egregious? Oh wait. Explain this to me. Why?
Um, I think it's egregious for a couple of reasons. One, the fact that they gave him that kind of money, egregious, because they're not going to be contending. And I mean, I guess it's worth it just from like a pure like business standpoint. Like he's going to like pay
You
for
don't think he's
himself.
worth the money though? Like as a player? You don't think he's like a top 10 player in the NBA?
I think if you're going to play like 50 games a season and then it doesn't really matter what happens in the playoffs because you're not a contender, I don't think it's worth it. No. I think you're better
All
off
right, let me.
spending money on like three young guys who have like some upside and
Oh, but
like,
you can't
start
though, because they're
rebuilding.
over the cap already. So it's like there's nah. I completely disagree. I think okay. Here's just my thinking on it. One, like you have a top 10 player, you do like anything you can to keep him as long as you can, You know what I mean? Like that's just like your objective. Like you have the guy potentially, and you arguably have two of them, right? Now the rest of the team is in fucking shambles, but I mean you arguably have two top 10 players.
You have two
Um,
halves.
yeah, yeah. I mean if they play together eventually.
Right. I mean, how many games have they
uh,
played together?
can I say something real quick in this video? It's
Yeah.
unbelievable to me how many of these people have like fucking umbrellas with the fucking British flag on it.
Really?
Like,
I thought
bro,
you were gonna say how many of them are
it's
attractive. I was gonna be like, they
crazy,
really
dude.
are all attractive.
Oh, damn. No, but no. I feel like if you have a top 10 player, you absolutely have to keep them. Like under, if you have the option to. Two, like it's not just money that they get spent on other people because they're over the cap. I mean, they're operating as an over the cap team, so it's not like you could just like sign other players with the money. And then three, it's also like how much of a contender if you can offload Westbrook for like other players. Like I don't know if you saw the report earlier, but like supposedly they were trying, they were in extended talks with Utah because they also made another trade for Pat Beverly, which is a little bit weirder. But like if they're in extended talks with Pat Bev, or in the Pat Bev deal to get like three other players for Westbrook, and then like with a pick tied to it or something, that makes a lot more sense to me then. Because like if you can offload the Westbrook contract and actually get some rotation players, I mean, there's no reason this team couldn't make the finals at least. Coming out of the West, I mean, who knows what'll happen in the playoffs. I mean, this team did win what 2 years ago. I mean, it's not completely ridiculous to think, or I guess 3 years ago
I
now.
think 3 years ago, yeah. I
But it's
mean,
not
the problem
out
to
of the
me
realm of
is still
possibility.
the Westbrook contract. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
mean
Wizards
that's
fan, so
ridiculous.
I'm biased. I'm still like just baffled by how we met. First of all, I mean, we've absolutely finessed the Lakers to start with for that. Like, we actually got like value out of Westbrook. I think like at the time that was already like surprising that anybody managed to get like value out of him. Like, I think it's pretty universally accepted that that was like pretty damn good business by the Wizards at the time.
Oh yeah.
I think now we're 2 years on from that, and it's like he's like substantially declined further since then. Like to the point where the common narrative now is that he's a liability in like pretty much every statistical category, like every advanced metric, definitely on the eyeball test. I mean, like we've talked about how he just kind of like on defense, he's just kind of walking around. Like he just doesn't give a shit. So it's like, what team? First of all, there's only like three teams I think that are in a position to like even take on his contract. And then which one of those teams is going to want to send back any kind of like usable rotation pieces in return? Like most of those teams are already pretty young and probably aren't going to want to give up like upside talent in exchange for like whatever it is, 2, 3 draft picks or maybe even more. I don't even know what you have to put on the table to kind of get a team to pick up the phone on something like that.
I mean, Utah kind of makes sense. Like if you're trying to lose 2 years of Westbrook, like as a contract, probably isn't that bad because you're just like he's gonna make you guys either you buy him out and it's just an empty roster slot, or he's gonna be awful for you. So
Well, what is their
I mean, the whole Donovan Mitchell is just a piece that's floating. Like, if you can't get rid of Donovan Mitchell, then I mean, you're gonna be a decent team. I mean, you might not be a playoff team, but you're definitely not gonna be at the bottom.
I mean, what are you sending
So,
back though in this scenario? Like that's kind of my question. I guess like
Bo, you probably have to
Malik
send,
Beasley. I mean,
yeah, Clarkson, Beasley, Pat
okay,
Bev.
it's got to
I mean, Clarkson, Beasley, Pat Bev. I think that was literally the deal that they were talking about.
yeah.
Um, I mean that matches the salaries, but the thing is, like, you need to get draft picks back for that. I mean, it's a huge. I mean,
I was
it's
gonna
a
say
huge
that's
slot
the
you're
thing.
taking out.
Like Clarkson's like a proven rotate. I mean, sixth man of the year candidate, Jordan Clarkson.
Yep.
Malik Beasley, you know,
Solid. He was pretty
arrest
decent.
issues
It was
aside, like legal issues aside, uh, it was him, right, that had like the whatever those charges were a couple of years ago. Am I making that up?
Was it Malik Beasley? I thought it was Kevin Porter Jr.
I can't remember. Malik
Weren't they on the same
Beasley
team?
charges. Felony
No, felony
charges.
charges,
Yeah,
threats to
yeah.
violence.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's pointing a rifle at
yeah,
his family outside of
yeah,
his home.
yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
him. So honestly, like legal issues aside, a guy who's like in the past averaged, like a very respectable amount, even though he's been like pretty injured. He hasn't really played many games, but
Yeah. Well, I played
like again, a
79
couple
games
like
last year,
very
but
usable pieces for a team that like yeah, granted now is on kind of like full rebuild mode, especially if they move Mitchell, although it sounds like they've indicated that they're not interested in moving Mitchell, so who even knows? Um like what how many picks do you send? Like four
I didn't think. I think
first
they can only
rounders?
send two.
Is that really? Why is that?
Yeah. They don't. They're just out.
No, no,
Like
they own like all of them except for two, I think.
well, no, because there's the Stepien provision. You can't send like you can't not have a draft pick for a certain amount of years either. That's why.
I
So
think
it's
it's
like you can't.
they're only I guess the two of them are tied up, but it's only off of one. Whoops, it's
Yeah, I
only
don't
off of
think
the
it.
one trade. It's the
Yeah, but I don't
whatchamacallit
think you
trade.
can go 2 years without a draft pick. So I think depending on how the projections, I'm pretty sure they can only give up two firsts.
Well, fair enough. I mean, in that case, you're really screwed. Like I don't.
Yeah, so up
There's
until
no way to make it work,
2025.
right?
Yeah,
They
because
can't trade any of these,
yeah, so then they have to draft in
so it would have to be
2026, I
something
think.
like.
So they
I
it's
mean, I
like
guess you could do
2027
three,
and
right?
2029 or something. Yeah, I
You
don't
just do
know.
every other year, 26, 28, 30. Regardless, look, either way, it's a lot to give up to get out from under 1 year of Westbrook, but you almost have to because it's one more year of LeBron. So I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
that
They're in a really tight
and
spot. I
AD,
don't know what you
bro. I
do.
mean, AD is not that young anymore, bro, and he has a
Yeah,
lot of
AD's
injuries. I mean,
he's probably 30, right? He's got to be like
he's,
30
he's
now.
29, 30, something like that. Yeah,
Let's check it out here.
with how many injuries he's
Yeah,
got.
29. He's turning 30 this season. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean that talk about a guy. I mean he hasn't played more than 60 games. I mean once in the last 4 seasons. Pretty rough.
Yeah, not to pivot too fucking hard here, but I feel like we just have to talk about it, bro.
Yeah.
But did you watch the fights? Did you catch up on these?
No, no, I did not. I was at a
Bro,
bachelor party.
yeah,
I mean, I could talk about that too. You want to? Let me just quickly throw in some shit talk here. The
yeah,
MGM Grand in Springfield, Massachusetts. I could never in my life imagine that a casino wouldn't have a UFC card playing on like half of their TVs on the night that it was playing. They straight up just did not have the card at all. I mean, I don't know if there's like some like contract dispute. Like, didn't they used to sponsor the UFC? Am I crazy about
yeah.
that? I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if they
don't even
maybe had
fucking
some kind of
know.
dispute and like now they just don't carry the fights, but it was like
That's mental,
I
bro.
talked to like two or three people, like random people at the casino, like drunk out of my mind, being like, "Can you believe this?" And we were all just losing our minds that we couldn't watch these goddamn fights. But anyway, yeah, go on, because you did watch them, right? So you can
Yeah,
give me a little
I mean,
rundown here.
just fucking unreal. I mean, the two main fights that were just ridiculous was the fucking oh no, the Jose Aldo fight was also nuts. I mean, he like honestly had a really good showing versus the fucking Russian dude. I'm forgetting his fucking name now.
The
But he just like
Dagestani
didn't
guy.
do enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just wasn't active enough. Like he stuffed like a fucking every takedown, right? Like he
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
neutralized the other dude, but then wasn't able to like actualize his own offense. So he kind of lost, but he
Yeah.
looked good. Like I mean, and Jose Aldo is one of these fucking guys that's just like, I mean, he's been around fucking forever now, man. It's kind of unbelievable.
I was gonna say that
Um,
kind of is the story of Jose Aldo, like the last, I'd say 2 or 3 years now. Maybe you could even argue
yeah.
since like the McGregor loss, but like he's like he always looks good, but he just doesn't quite look good enough to like really scratch it against like the very very top guys, which is a real shame because I mean talk about a guy who's like an all-time great, really. I don't think there's really any
Oh,
debate about that.
100%. Yeah. I mean, maybe the best featherweight of all time, to be
Yeah,
honest. I mean, probably still the best.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, the Luke Rockhold fight was just absolutely bonkers. First Bohochinho, Paulo Costa. I mean, dude, like, just talk about fucking heart, grit, just like digging deep. I mean, for a guy that was known for like not having a chin and being a pretty boy,
yeah.
I mean, one of the most disgusting, grisly displays of just fucking heart and just like being so exhausted. I mean, I've never, like, I can count on my hands the times I've seen someone that exhausted just like in anything ever. Like, he literally looked like, dude, he looked like he was gonna collapse between the rounds. Like,
Yeah.
his coach was like sit down on the stool and he was literally just like ignoring him with his hands up on the cage because he literally like he didn't even have the energy to sit down and
If he
stand back
sits
up.
down, you're not getting back up. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and he was just like the coach was talking to him, and his eyes just looked like they weren't absorbing anything. Like he was just trying to fucking breathe. I mean, it was fucking horrendous. And they were at elevation, dude. They
Yeah.
fought in Utah, so you know it's like bringing it back to Utah. But you know like how fucking hard that is. So I mean, it's just anyone should watch that. If you're into the UFC even a little bit, you got to check out the Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa fight. I mean, just awesome. And then just to pivot once again, like how ridiculous is like that card is like lit, tons of good fights on that. And then this MSG card, UFC 278, just garbage down the line, bro.
Is
I
it
mean,
278 or 281? It's 281, I think,
it
right?
is it? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
281. Sorry. Was
278 was
this
the one
just
that just
278?
happened, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, this
But
card is an
281,
all-time
bro. I mean,
baddie.
what a fucking stinker, bro.
Yeah, I mean this is rough. I mean, we were talking about this. Like I mean,
Yeah.
all due respect to all of these fighters. I mean, it's lit to be like on the main card at MSG. Like, I'm not gonna take anything away from that. Like, awesome for all of them. But I mean, we've talked about there's like 5 names on here that we know, and we've been, I'm not gonna say we're like, I mean, maybe I'm mischaracterizing it for you. I'm not gonna act like I'm like the number one UFC fan and like I keep up with every. I mean, clearly I don't keep up with every fighter, but I feel like
Yeah.
I know enough that like an MSG card, 70% of the names should be familiar to me, and we know what like 4 or 5 names on here, and it's just
Yeah.
like
I mean,
who
I
are
think
some
they
of these?
added a fight too. Like Hanado Moicano wasn't on that earlier when I was
Yeah, I
looking
think
at
you're
it
right
for
actually.
sure.
That caught my eye too. I'm glad you said
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that's a
um,
good one actually. That's a
yeah,
pretty good fight versus
yeah,
Brad Riddell. But no, like 100%. I mean, it's also just like these fighters aren't even ranked. Most of these guys, like even if you knew, even if they were names that you knew, like at least put some fucking ranked fighters in here, bro.
yeah, yeah. It's tough.
Like half these guys aren't ranked that I'm supposed to get hyper. And I mean, listen, not to get too. I mean, no, I'm just gonna go. Like honestly, women's fights kind of suck, bro. I'll just be real with it. Some women's fights are sick. Zhang Wei Li, honestly, kind of a beast. Some of the title fights are really
She's
good. Most of
scary.
the time, they're fucking snoozers, bro. Like, and
It's
there's
I think the
three.
thing is I would say that's not
Just
really a like a female fighter thing as much as it is when there's no threat of a knockout or like a really cool submission. I lose interest really fast, and I don't know. I think like maybe that's kind of like
yeah,
what you're talking about. Maybe that's just an
it's just a
opinion I have,
skills
but it's
thing.
like
I think a part of it's the skills thing. Like the top level is really good still. You know what I mean? Like there's
yeah,
some really hype fucking like all the Joanna fights were fucking lit. Zhang Wei Li's fight was fucking insane with Joanna.
Amanda
Like
Nunez rocks.
yeah, Amanda Nunez is knocking bitches out. I mean, listen, like the top level girls are like honestly exciting to watch. And honestly, there's a few that were really fun. I mean, like what's her name? The fucking pretty girl who fucking how am I forgetting her name
Yeah,
now, bro? The Team
I knew
Alpha
I
male
knew
chick.
exactly who you were gonna say.
Like she
But
was
she had
hyped to
heart. She
watch.
never gave up. That
Yeah,
was
I
kind of
mean,
like
she
the
was
cool thing
always
with
getting
her.
submitted and shit,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
listen. Um, at the end of the day, bro, they're just not. I mean, they just haven't been around as long as the men most of the time. Like the divisions are just not as established, even still. I mean, like I said, the top level's good, but
It takes
most of
time
the
for
fights are
sure.
just snoozers, bro. I mean, I'm not trying to be fucking sexist, but it's just like if I'm just
I'm not trying to be
evaluating a card,
sexist, but I'm just gonna be sexist.
yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be. I just am. Uh, But like if I because we were talking about maybe going to the fights, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And so it's like if I'm really, especially at an MSG card, that's the thing. Like for a normal pay per view, sure, but like the MSG cards have been like fire, basically
yeah,
all the ones they've
yeah.
had. And so it's like to see
Oh,
this is just
oh, oh,
kind of
oh.
disappointing.
Did you see this guy dancing?
Yeah, dude, we've been going through some like litty
I
areas in
know. I'm
London.
kind of watching. Like the nightlife is where it's at. People are
Yeah,
having a great time, even though the weather's absolutely disgusting.
I mean London looks lit, bro. If I'm being honest,
London does look pretty lit.
I
Um,
changed my opinion a little bit. I mean, this could be New York if I'm being honest, but
no, I like the architecture a lot more. And I feel like New York's got
yeah,
kind of, I mean, unique and cool architecture in its own way, but I mean, this is like uniquely European looking, it's just
yeah.
immediately identifiable. Um, I feel like we didn't really talk much about kind of like our origin story as far as getting into sports. We kind of just dove right
Maybe we'll do
into
that next time.
some random sports. I was just gonna say that could be like a great thing to get into on
We'll save
episode
it.
3 and talk about kind of what sports we've watched in the past, what we know about, what we don't know about, and maybe could be an opportunity to learn about some new sports at some point down the line too. Could be fun.
Yeah, I
Um,
would be super down for that. If just
yeah.
like diving into one of these fake sports, like cricket or something. Um,
You've been sitting on that one, haven't you?
some fake sport. I mean, rugby is a pretty real sport, but I mean, we could even get into like football. I feel like, I mean, you're kind of into football, but I don't think you're not that much.
Well, no,
But
I mean,
I would,
we could talk about that next week because that's part of my
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
definitely part of my
Okay, we'll
my
get into
origin
it.
story is
Mhm.
football. But we,
We'll
we
save
can
it.
we can
We'll
touch
save
on
it.
that for when we've got another
What
hour to
time are
chat.
we at? How far are we in? I don't
We're
even
we're
know.
at
I don't
just
have the
over an hour
timer.
right now, and I caught
Jesus.
myself saying like we're looking at these streets, and I'm like, this is uniquely European. You can immediately identify this as European, and I think you know where that means we got
It's
to go
triggering
next here.
something in you. Yeah.
It's
It's that hour.
I'm gonna start. Oh, look at that. Opera already knows where I'm going with this. It's time for
Yeah.
GeoGuessr, man.
Your second time on Opera, they already know where you're
It's
going,
time.
dude.
Yeah, the 3 websites I've been to, this is one of them, and they know that it's actually number one in my heart. So I say We hit up the daily challenge and we see what did we get last week? Last week we got about well, it was like
Bro, it was
12,400
all,
points or something like that. It
bro.
was a rough showing.
I don't
I
even
think
know. It was
today, if we can beat what is this? The
15K
silver.
or
Silver is 15K.
yeah.
I think we got to go for 15K. I don't think we're
I
gonna
think we're
beat
gonna crush it.
Lance, but
Yeah, no, Lance is a fucking cheater, so
Lance is a
fuck
little Google
Lance.
machine. You fuck you, Lance, wherever
Yeah,
you are.
seriously, bro. Lance needs to
You
fucking
cheating
lay
ass
off the
bitch.
Google.
Let's see. Let's dox this guy. Master expedition. Yeah, master Googler.
Level 58, yeah.
Imagine Googling and only getting an average of 21,800 points. What a loser. Anyway, um, should we get right into it? Are you ready? Are you sitting tight? You all
I'm
buckled
fucking
in?
ready, bro. I'm definitely not Googling, I'll tell
Let's
you
hit it.
that.
Let's hit it. I mean, it's clear we're not
Okay,
Googling
I
anything.
love this. Yeah.
Let's see.
That's
I'm
fucking for
feeling South
sure, bro.
America. I'm just gonna throw that out there right
Yeah.
away.
I
I'm
mean,
feeling like
honestly,
lush South America right out
it
of the gate.
could be Southeast Asia.
It could
We get
absolutely. I
tricked with
knew you
these
were gonna go there.
sometimes.
We do get tricked with these, and I don't know enough about Southeast Asian license plates to.
I mean, look at these houses. Like, there's something at these houses that is kind of saying this to me.
You know
Oh,
what really scares me about these is I think it's gonna happen. Is I'm just afraid we're gonna hit a dead end here.
yeah.
Okay, we're
No, it looks
not.
like we
We're
might just
good.
go
We're
off
out.
the cliff right
Okay,
here.
that's. I'm not
I mean, it's
getting much
just
here so
so
far.
lush,
Ooh,
dude.
here
Oh,
we
go
go.
back
Here
to the
we
sign.
go.
Go back to the sign. Oh, no, this is fucking South America. Okay.
This is Italy.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Am I crazy?
Strelka.
Right?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, no, 100%.
Cintura di sicurezza. Ah, so southern Italy
This
somewhere?
is crazy.
Could
Yeah,
this
this is
be
somewhere.
like
This
a
could be like
Corsica
Sis.
or something or like a
I don't know how lush those places are,
I
bro.
don't either, man. Yeah, I was hoping you would know. You're the
I
Italian
mean,
here, so you got to
Southern
tell me.
Italy. I mean, bro, I haven't been to those places. I mean, I know where my dad's from, bro. It's like a fucking desert, bro.
Agriturismo, buongiorno. You already know fucking Lance was Googling right now, furiously typing into his keyboard. Where did this even take me? Where did we just go?
But this is what I'm always talking about, though. When I always say, like, bro, Italy is basically a third world country, bro. Like, we literally thought we were in, like, fucking bumfuck Shitsville, fucking South America, or, like, fucking Southeast Asia, just, like, the
Yeah,
middle
I
of
mean,
nowhere. And it's just fucking Italy, dude.
it's Italy.
Dude, Southern Europe can be
I
rough,
mean,
bro.
it's beautiful though. I mean, you
No,
say
it's
that
beautiful,
I
but
love how it looks. I'd
no,
live here.
it
This
looks
rocks.
good, but I just mean, like, I mean, look at how run down everything is,
It's
dude.
definitely run down. Definitely not in the
Like
greatest state that
shitty
I've seen.
cars,
You know, this
run
is what you
down.
get
I
when
mean,
you
it's
just let the
beautiful,
mafia build everything.
but
Okay, we're on a just totally different level
I mean,
now.
also the
We just did a
quality
jump
on
on the
this.
car.
The quality is horrendous on this Google Maps. It's just like this is like the 2012 version, like when this car came through here, bro.
I'm I'm
We had
very
30
intrigued
seconds,
by
bro.
this. Yeah, I know, but I'm so intrigued by just driving around southern Italy now.
Yeah,
All right, I mean, what do you want to do here? What are you feeling? Should we just go like somewhere in between,
just
like
go
a
somewhere. Just fucking go somewhere southern, bro.
let's
Definitely
just
below
bop it right
Naples.
there, huh?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
damn. It was
Sicily.
Sicily after all.
Yeah,
I
I
mean
thought it
that
might
makes
be, but
sense.
it's
We weren't
actually
too
not.
bad. Listen, that's a good start. That's a
No,
good
that
start. I
was
think
pretty
we're in
good.
a good
Yeah.
good place here. We're only
Dude,
150 miles away. That's a tank of gas.
we had to learn our lesson though to just do the center of the country. You know,
Yeah,
like do the
yeah, yeah,
center of
yeah.
the
We
area.
need
We
to
think,
remember
bro,
that big time.
because it's just it could have ended up worse.
I'm I'm immediately at a loss here. Bus stop. I mean,
Could be Canada.
they're driving on the left, but
Oh, so you're
it's
thinking it's
tropical.
you're
I
thinking
mean,
it's
this is fucked,
Australia
man. This is just some
or New
former
Zealand?
colony or Australia. Yeah, it's
New
honestly
Zealand.
Australia is probably the shout.
We got fucked when we thought it was Canada or New Zealand last time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe we should
You didn't trust those signs on the left. Jack
Jack Perret.
Perret,
I mean, that doesn't sound Australian. I don't know
McGill
what.
Street. Yeah, it's Canada actually.
It's Canada, yeah.
um,
Or is it South Africa?
no. In case you were wondering, this is in the through road. Just
Like, I wish I knew enough about South Africa and Australia and shit to just be like, oh, this is definitely, you know,
this isn't. There's no way this is South Africa. I think this is.
yeah.
I'm getting a strong Australia vibe here.
Damn, is that guy slapping his girl's ass on
He
the
might
left
have
there?
been.
Dude, he was, bro. Straight up.
Respect. We'll see it. We'll see it when we go back and watch. That's what
The
we'll
Google
find
Street
out
Cams
then.
is like, whoa.
Give way. Oh, Ipswich. City of Ipswich.
Oh,
Now
come
I
on,
know where we
Lance.
are.
Hey, Lance, where you at, dog?
Ah, man, yeah, Lance is stoked. So here's the thing. I feel like if we could just knock it out being somewhere over here, we just go to the opposite coast, right? Damn, look at that. Albany, Australia. Who knew?
Could it be New Zealand, bro? I mean, it's close enough that it's kind of just like,
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't think so.
okay. Maybe do it on the coast that's near New Zealand, just in
I
case.
feel
But that
like
would
I'm
be
gonna I'm gonna gain some kind of like brownie points with any New Zealand listeners we eventually get. But
some
I feel
Kiwis.
like New Zealand's yeah, the Kiwis. I feel like New Zealand's kind of prettier than this.
Okay.
I feel like this kind of just looks
Why? Because
like
they filmed Lord of the Rings there.
yeah, for starters.
Like this doesn't look like the fucking Shire.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? McGill. I mean, we're getting
McGill
nothing here.
again,
It's I
bro.
think we
I
just
mean, yeah.
okay. We got 30 seconds. We finally hit the main road. I found my way out of the neighborhood.
I mean, lay it down, bro. Go, show me your gut.
Do we go to Gimpy?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not
Sunshine Coast,
sure. I mean,
Sunny Coast. Put on my
yeah.
sunnies.
Should we go Sunny Coast?
Put on
Should I
my
go inland a
sunnies.
little bit just to be hedge our bets a tiny little bit?
Yeah, mate.
All right, let's see.
Oi.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, that's money in the bank right
That
there.
is if that's we're rolling
Ipswich.
hard here. I mean, that's about as good as it could have been, all things
Yeah.
considered. Look at that. There you go.
No, you
North
named it.
Ipswich. We were in Basin Pocket.
Shout out to the North Ipswich. It's like a snake over here with this little thing. Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. Back in any third world country, really.
Got some car repairs going on.
Oh, is
It's
this
South
India?
America. Or is it
Oh, you
what
think
is that?
so?
Is that an Italy flag?
That
Is
is an
dare I
Italian
say, is that
flag.
an Italian
Are we
flag? Are we
back
back
to
in Italy?
Italy?
Are we
Jesus,
back in
bro.
Sicily?
We're back in third world ass Italy, bro. Jesus Christ, man.
This isn't that third world, man.
Look at that.
That
Go
was a
back.
that
Go
was a
back to
big
that
pothole.
pothole.
Shut up,
Look
shut
at
up.
that fucking
Pothole
fucking
aside, I mean,
pothole.
I think I'm gonna say that's Italy, man.
Palestina, bro. We're in fucking
Pitalito.
Palestine. We're in fucking
I mean,
Palestine,
I'll tell you
Italy.
one thing: we're not in Palestine.
Yeah, I know.
I think we might. I think we might be back in Italy. You know.
Look, we're back in southern Italy, bro.
Let's see what these signs say. Here we go. Mocoa and Palestine. You know what? It could be like the Philippines or something, to be honest.
This,
Mocoa? That doesn't sound Italian to me.
yeah, fucking Hawaii, bro.
What's up? You got bike signs like that in Italy?
I don't even know,
Come
bro.
on, man. What good are you? You've been there.
I've been there a few
We
times,
need
but I don't
you.
remember.
What if it was just right back where we were the first time? That would be really fun. Like the same kind of. It's like a street over.
I mean, look, it's just like there's just a fucking bike in the middle of the street, just
All right, we got you
unoccupied.
with the daily challenge.
Yeah, no wonder Lance perfected it, bro. I mean, is this Italy, bro?
I don't know, man.
I mean, give us something here. 40? I don't think it's Southeast Asia, bro. I don't think it's the Philippines.
So
I mean, it
you
could
think
be,
Italy
but
after all?
there's just so many mopeds and bikes.
I
It
don't think it's
just
Italy,
feels like
man. I
it's
got to be honest. I'm
okay.
not really
What does
feeling.
this sign say?
Oh,
What
that's
is
see, that's yeah. We're in South America somewhere.
okay?
I
Yeah,
don't.
you think
I
we're
was
in
gonna say
Argentina?
Mocoa does not sound. No, no, no. It's too lush for Argentina. I'm thinking like.
It's Brazil,
I'm
bro.
thinking like a Peru, Brazil. Yeah, somewhere like Colombia, maybe.
What about Paraguay or something? How's it over there? Same, so just Argentina 2.0
It could
over
be like a
Paraguay.
Paraguay. Should we just go like somewhere over here to be safe,
I,
like kind of
the
in
only
between
reason I'm
southern
saying that is
Colombia?
I remember Paraguay having mad white people. So I'm
Quick,
thinking there
have a
might be a lot of
website. Have a
Italians
website.
over there.
Please have a website. Oh,
No.
fuck, there's no website.
Pulpy to fruit though, baby.
Centro Montecristo?
That's Brazil, bro.
You think?
Yeah.
Should we go Brazil? Should we just go like just right in the middle of the Amazon? Manaus?
And I think you should go. Yeah, I don't know.
We need like some mountains though. I'm feeling Colombia, dude. Hey!
Oh, you cheated. You Googled that?
Yeah, I googled it and I was 400 miles away, dude. You got me. Um, no,
No, you
I mean,
nailed
I
it,
could be
bro.
wrong. Does
You killed
Brazil
it.
even have mountains? I feel like this is all the rainforest. Like it's all flat.
Yeah, bro. It has
I
mountains
sound like
somewhere,
such an
bro.
uneducated fuck. I really should have
Dude,
just
look
gone to
how
Brazil.
fucking
I don't
big it
even.
is, bro.
But where's the
Dude, Brazil
mountains?
definitely
What
has
kind of mountain
mountains.
does it? This is all just rainforest. What kind of mountains are in the
More
rainforest?
south, bro. More south than that.
All right, hold up. We need to see like a topographical map. Brazil.
It has to have some mountains, bro, for sure, for sure. Yeah, look all the over there.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Southeast.
whoa, all
In
over
the
what? Where do you
southeast.
see?
In the southeast,
Yeah,
bro.
why do you think it's all
On this
orange?
over
Because
here.
it's dry as shit.
Okay.
This is all the red dirt.
It's all
That's
the
all the
red
red
dirt.
dirt I've been talking about. Look at this. This is flat as it gets over here in
I
the
mean, yeah, the
north.
rainforest. Yeah, but I wasn't talking about over there, bro. All right, all right.
Maybe, I mean, I guess it could have been over here. You're right, actually. It looks like over here, like by Bolivia and Paraguay. Honestly, Paraguay would have been a good shout. I feel like you should have pushed harder for Paraguay. I would have totally bid on
I
that.
don't know, but I just don't know enough about Paraguay, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
don't
was
know
thinking
shit.
Paraguay was more like Argentina, where it's kind of like.
They got the Dutch flag with a little thing through the middle. Oh, well,
Okay, look at
this
this.
is great.
This is.
This is a
Where are
third
we?
world country now. We got water jugs on the roof. The windshield just absolutely shattered. This is
I mean,
I don't even know which way to go here.
nicer roads than
Should we go up
Colombia,
the
bro.
hill?
Oh, look at this dog. What up, dog?
What up, dog?
What the dog doing?
We're gonna ostracize like literally anybody who doesn't live in a Western,
Bro,
like highly
listen, bro.
developed Western country.
If where you live looks like this, then well, I mean, come on, bro.
All
You
right.
know.
All right. So South or Central America?
You think it's the same dog we keep seeing, or they're just like
This could
50
be
million
Mexico.
straight up? This is
Oh,
Mexico, 100%, bro.
probably.
I mean, is that not the Mexican flag? That's literally the Mexican
I
flag.
mean, it's the colors, but I don't know, man. Carta, I don't know. Movistar. San Francisco. Wait,
Yeah.
we've seen this before. Oh no, it's Los Angeles. It's Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
I was stoked, bro. I mean, it probably is like
Yeah.
somewhere over here then, huh? Let's see if we can get. Oh my God.
Over in
Please
Baja.
zoom me out.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah, I
man.
mean, this definitely isn't the greatest place. You know, I keep saying it. We really got to start memorizing these fucking telephone poles. I feel like we'd be wizards with the telephone poles.
That's like just like that's so hard, oh, bro.
You know
Telso.
what's really tough is when they just like don't even have websites. Like all these places are just no websites.
Yeah.
They're like we
There's
know
no
you.
internet, bro.
Like I don't know, man.
Look at him hiccuping.
I gotta be. I really don't know what this might be one of those where we're just best off guessing. Oh my God, look at the little Chihuahua.
I don't know. Oh,
Maybe
we're
we're in
definitely in
Chihuahua.
Mexico, bro. I feel like we just guessed northern Mexico, bro. Not gonna
Do
be
you go
honest with
northern
you.
Mexico or do we go with our strat of just saying right in the middle? I mean, most of Mexico is pretty dry and like flat. I feel like
I
so.
would go. I mean, I would just throw it like next to Mexico City, bro, or some shit like above Mexico City. That would be
Durango.
my
Where's
go.
Durango?
I have no clue.
Isn't that a place? Man,
I just feel like
I
we're
really,
close.
I'm like embarrassed at myself of like how little I know every time we play this.
Yeah,
I'm like
it's for
Durango. I'm
sure.
like that. I'm pretty sure that's a place.
I mean, okay, here's just my thinking. I just feel like there's a lot of just like American kind of shit.
I
So
mean,
I
there's
feel
a lot
like
of
it's
Chihuahua.
better to go.
There was
Yeah.
multiple Chihuahuas we saw. So
Oh, wait, there's Durango right above,
where?
south of where you're going,
Oh yeah.
right there.
Boom. Look at that. Good call.
Oh,
Good call. I
there
would
you
not have
go.
seen it. Another 150 miler.
Yeah.
We're in there. We're in there. Okay, so Chihuahua. Okay, so it's a state. Durango's a state. Oh, there's also a
Yeah.
city. Okay, so you know what?
You nailed it, bro.
Shout out to Narcos Mexico probably for the only reason I know that. No
Yeah, who
offense.
said
I mean,
watching TV
honestly,
4 hours a day
Mexico
isn't good?
actually lit. Everywhere I've gone in Mexico, Mexico City in particular was one of the funnest trips I've been on. I really enjoyed Mexico City.
How is the smog there? I kind of want to go. Is it lit?
I don't know. I didn't really notice it much. But what was lit was we kind of did we didn't really do like any of like the super touristy stuff. Like I was like with like multiple native Spanish speakers, so they like were able to just like talk to people and like find out what the hell we should be doing and stuff. We
Yeah.
went to like but like the trade-off was we went to like really fancy nice restaurants and stuff and then like we did like cool like off the
Yeah,
beaten
that's
path
lit.
kind of like adventures. Um Bienvenidos. So we're in another Spanish speaking country here it seems like. I mean, are these grapevines?
I don't know, bro.
Is that just Argentina? I mean, I don't really know
You
enough
think it's
about.
like a vineyard?
Yeah,
Think
that's
we're
what
in
I'm
vineyard
wondering.
countries? Yeah. It kind of looks like it,
I
but I'm
don't
not
really
really
know. I don't really
sure.
know anything about like grapevines look
I
like. I
don't
feel
know
like
shit
that's kind of
about
what they
grapes
look like,
either.
though. I feel like if I
I
was gonna
feel
grow
like
grape, that's what it was.
they didn't really
What
got
it would
like
look like.
vines though, because I thought they put them on like those like wiry sheets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
I
do,
don't
but you
know.
gotta like grow them up first.
I guess yeah.
Oh my God, man, this is another one of those where like the whole.
Well, this isn't grapes on the left here. Some other crop,
Yeah,
right?
it's some other crop, but then here it could be grapes. No, that's some kind of little tree. I'm not. Oh,
I kind of don't hate Argentina, bro.
I feel like Argentina would
1K.
be into dragons.
Yeah. That watch they read too. Oh
Big,
fuck,
big.
what's that book? Don Quixote, bro.
Oh.
A banger over there.
I just started thinking of other books with dragons, and I was like, Aragon.
Oh no, dude. Yeah. They're making a new TV show about that. No joke.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I only ever read the first couple books. La Macarena.
I mean, you know
La
that show's
Macarena?
dragon, but they replaced the E or the D with an E.
Yeah, yeah. That was I thought that was like lame as like an 11-year-old when I read that, or like
Yeah.
12-year-old or however old I was.
It was literally just the next letter in the alphabet. They just
It's just you just spelled it wrong.
Yeah. You just misclicked on the keyboard,
Yeah,
bro.
like,
Literally.
and then you really stuck with your guns. You were like,
You
wait,
fat
actually, we're
fingered
kind of
it.
fucked here. We're out of time. We gotta pick a spot here.
Just go Argentina, bro. There's
Let's go
dragons.
Argentina, center of the country.
It's
Tried
like
and
actually
true.
Spain.
There it is. Oh,
Oh,
we've literally
yeah.
been to this part of Uruguay before. We were
Yep.
we were up here last time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it looked nothing like this. I'll say that. So,
That's not bad though. 450 miles. That's another kind of good. That's
dude,
another.
this is we killed this one, bro. To be
Yeah, we
honest, I
were
mean,
running.
relative to last
Let's see our
time. I
summary
mean,
here. I mean, look at that, man.
you're a master hiker. Yeah, that's right.
I
I
mean,
bet
that's
that
almost
lands.
we almost hit 20,000 points. I'm
That's
pretty
fucking
proud of
huge,
us
bro.
there. I don't think we're gonna beat that next week. I'll tell you right now. I don't think
Yo, give me
that's
a game breakdown, bro. Let me see that. What
a
happens if you
game
click that
breakdown.
button? Oh, we get to
Yeah, fucking
compare.
Lance.
I
Lance,
mean,
1 yard,
3 miles.
3 yards, 1 yard, 5 yard. Oh, he almost 11 yards total at the end.
Wait, 15 minutes. It took him 15 Oh, total. That's the fifth. That's just total things, dude. But yeah.
Did he? Is that how much time he had left?
No, that's how long it took him.
So he maxed it out on every single one?
That's what it looks
I
like. Yeah,
mean,
that's a Google
this guy's
machine.
way more impressive then. Are you kidding me? He
Yeah.
got all of these in like 30 seconds?
Yeah, how is that even possible? That guy's the real Google machine, bro. That
Brish
guy's
Bing.
brain is a Google machine. Level 100. He's twice as good as
2,600
Lance.
games he's played, and he's in the Master Elo. What are we?
We're silver, bro.
Silver with 38 games played.
We're
We
silver
got a little
division,
ways
bro.
to go. We got a little ways to go on this.
We're on his heels, bro. That's all I'm saying.
We're on his
We're a
heels.
master hiker, bro.
We Google machined at some point on this account. Look at this, 24,998. Even with the Google machine, we couldn't get the 25.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, how do you have that, bro?
I don't know. I've
I
only ever
wasn't there
played
for
with
that.
you, so you tell me.
I don't remember that,
I
bro.
don't know,
I feel
man.
like we would have been bugging if we hit that, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there you go.
Friends, dude. Yeah, if anyone's trying to add us on Geoguessr.
Yeah, hit me up.
All right, boys.
It's a
I
strong
think that's
episode too.
all. Okay, here's actually a question. Worst podcast to ever do it, or the worst to ever do it podcast?
I like
Just
the
a note
worst
to end on.
podcast to ever do it, but we can
The worst podcast to ever do it. And
I'll sleep
is it?
on that.
Yeah, sleep on that. And are we capitalizing the 2 in worst podcast to ever do it?
I don't think you capitalize anything after the first T.
So just the and then all undercase. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
It's just a little wordy, but I guess that's kind of what makes it awful. That's what makes it the worst podcast to ever do it, right?
T W P T D. That really is a lot of words. I don't know.
There's no abbreviation there, yeah.
Anyway, see you on episode
All
3.
right, boys.